Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wandering Artist Podcast. I'm Casey.
And I'm Steffi.
We're down to one mic right now, having some technical difficulties, but
AKA the other one broke.
so bear with us.
Maybe it is easier if I just hold it. I think you're right. Here. Let me get closer to you. I like you. Can you come closer to me too?
Mhm.
This is better. I think this probably would work.
Okay. Anyway, we're figuring it out, obviously.
In real time.
But yeah, we also are doing something a little bit different this week. Things have been a little chaotic, and so
To say the least.
we've had to adjust, but we still want to put stuff out there for you guys. So this week
We're doing episode 8.5 week question mark.
we're gonna talk about artist date ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's something that I feel like I've seen a lot of people struggling with coming up with ideas.
And when we were interviewed, it was one of the questions that we didn't think about talking about before, so we thought that this would be a nice thing for everybody, because I think something that happens a lot when doing the artist way is people get really caught up in the artist date and what to do, especially those of us who are working jobs or in school or working jobs and are in school or just have a lot of life happening like we do right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think people kind of get lost in the I almost said lost in the sauce, but they get lost in I don't know what to do because everything costs money. But we have 50 free ideas and a few extra that are not wildly expensive ideas.
Most of them are free. Some of them would be a little bit of money. So, whatever's like resonating with you, and it depends what supplies you have too.
Yeah.
Um,
Like if you're a photographer, you probably have a camera already. We're not including that in the cost.
yeah.
If you do art, you probably have something you can draw with or paint with, or at the very least, if you do digital art or a lot of people have Apple Pens and iPads or have access to crayons or go to a freaking restaurant and ask them for crayons if they have the kid stuff pretend
Hmm.
you have a kid. That works pretty well.
Yeah. So, the way that I did this was things are separated by medium, I guess. There's
Category.
category of, photography, drawing, painting, poetry, stuff like that. And I think another thing I want to preface is like, if your thing is you're an actor, you should try doing the painting thing, or like I feel like
Mm,
my understanding of what an artist date is to do something a little bit different and like unlock a different part of your creative brain that you wouldn't normally.
I think that's one way of thinking of it. I think it's more so giving yourself time to be creative. It's scheduled time to be creative and have some self-care within that creative self.
Yeah, it's definitely that
And you
too.
can push yourself outside of the box, or you can make time to finally do that painting you've been trying to do,
Mhm.
or go to the acting class or whatever.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think that for some people there's like this feeling of like getting tunnel vision of like this is my thing, so I need to do artist dates that are related to the thing that
Mm-hmm.
I do.
And they don't break it down more or try other things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Um the first category I'm starting with is pretty basic because it's places that you can go that might spark inspiration. And I think with an artist date, if you have like a place you want to go, you might also want to add on to what you do once you're there. And it could be so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
So for places to visit, I put a library, you could go to a thrift store, you can go to a free museum.
Or you can go to a museum that costs in Europe and all over the world. They're often free, and there's some free ones in the U.S., but
Hmm.
sometimes they cost a little.
Yeah. You can go to an antique store. a craft store, a record store, a flower shop, a park, a botanical garden,
That's a good one.
and
Or like Japanese gardens and things like that.
hmm and like that leads me into the poetry and writing section I had
Can I say
because
something quickly about visiting though?
hmm
So for all of these, like specifically the thrift store, flower shop, craft store, antique shop, all of those things, even record store, it doesn't mean you have to go in and buy something. I just feel like that's important to state. Like you don't have to buy anything. You can gain inspiration from it. You can take a photo of something you like. Let's say you're someone who sews and does like fashion design stuff. Maybe you like a pattern and you just take a photo of it. Maybe you like modeling and you literally just grab really funky clothes and you go model them for yourself in the mirror and just practice different clothes. And if you're like a fashionista, maybe you're learning more about what styles and shapes you like on your body. So it doesn't have to be a you buy something, and that's something that our culture, especially in the US, is like if you're going to a place you have to buy something because that's polite. You don't. You can go to a restaurant, sit down, look at the menu and say, this ain't it, and leave. That's an
hmm
option. So
hmm
just wanted to put that out there because I think it's really important.
and it's a good practice for if you are a recovering people pleaser as well. I was gonna say like the places that you visit, they're just jumping off points, and the reason I say that is because I had the thought for in the poetry or writing section, you can go to a library and go to a section and read book titles and maybe write a few interesting titles down and use those words as part of a poem,
That's so
or
cool.
make a poem that's entirely just book titles.
Or like I like this one that you wrote, overheard conversations. Like if you're at a park or even like at a cafe or something, that's like writing down what you're hearing and either like I can imagine for somebody who's doing screenwriting using that as like inspiration of how people talk and
hmm
slash or like turning that into poetry. Super
hmm
cool. I love that idea.
Yeah, we both kind of love eavesdropping on other people's
The
conversations. So,
tea. Oh my god. People sometimes when they don't know that you're listening, they say some fucking shit. And I'm like, who died? Someone got murdered? Like what?
yeah.
Girl, what happened?
hmm
What?
So, yeah. And another one I wrote in the writing section is doing blackout poetry. If you have like
Mm.
an old magazine or from a newspaper or a book that you don't care about and you don't mind, you know,
Making art
writing
out of.
in, exactly. That's always fun. I've done blackout poetry a few times and I always liked it.
That's really cool. You could
Um,
also, knowing this from a parent who literally collects books for a living, did, still does, whatever. Most yard sales and estate sales and thrift stores or antique stores or even bookstores have really discounted books or free sections, especially if you ask, like, hey, I'm trying to do art. They probably have some books that they'll give you for free.
that's a good
Mm-hmm.
point.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the writing section. I wish I had more thoughts in that, but those were just everything that I wrote down and that you wrote down was just like from our brains.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next section is for photography.
Mm-hmm.
The ideas I had were to go on a nature walk, go to a public space, and people watch, which there's some like trickiness with that, I suppose,
People watch specifically or like
with photography. So,
oh, okay, so like street photography.
hmm
Yeah. Um if you guys want an entire episode on how I do street photography and try to be sneaky about it, I can do one. It's not that sneaky. You just have to look like your camera's broken all the time and being like, "Huh, what's going on?" Just make a confused face and make sure everything's lined up and then take the picture or just like spot the spot you want and stay there and then don't do anything. Plus
hmm
or minus. But like I can get into it way more in depth. I was not prepared to talk about it
yeah, no, that's fine.
today.
You are going to insert a photo now of the photo of the woman roller skating while we were in
Insert
Paris.
photo here. This is
I'm
my favorite photo I've ever
I'm
taken.
obsessed with this photo. So I love that photo. It should be in a magazine somewhere.
Thank you. I agree. I feel like it could be on the cover of just about any magazine that involves fashion or lifestyle. This woman
hmm
was so gorgeous, just like roller skating around the plaza in
we
Paris.
were blown away. She was having her main character moment, and we were just
And we
living for
captured
it.
that shit. If this person sees this by chance, I will give you the photo.
Yeah.
Like no question. I will I would honestly print that and like make that a photo in my house, in
Mm-hmm.
our house.
Yeah, we should. Okay, other photography ideas. I said to pick a color and then go around and take photos of items that you find that are that color. And
Mm.
that could be something of like if you take an afternoon out and you're wandering through your neighborhood or somewhere in your city, that would be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, especially if it was like a bright color like red or pink or like yellow. That would
Hmm.
be so cool.
Yeah. And then another one kind of similar to that was to go mural hunting if you're in a city like that that has street art. I think that that would be a fun thing to do.
I just thought of one actually. Is you could go into the city or into your town or into whatever and not bring your camera and like think like you brought your camera and be like, wow, this would be an amazing shot. This would be an amazing shot. Yada yada. I feel like that could be so cool. Just like not cool necessarily, but a really good way to inspire yourself. Because if once you have the camera on you, sometimes you can kind of get like a little like what's what I'm looking for, like pulled away and out of the subject and out of the situation. But if you don't have your camera, you can be like, well, this would be really cool if it was like this, and if I could edit that out, and like I don't know how to explain it other than sometimes that's cool. Um, Something that I like to do as a photographer is if I'm in a rut, and this also works for artist dates, is to pick a theme or like a shape or something like that to photograph. So let's say you're going on a walk, you're going downtown. We're used to cities, so this is just like I usually assume cities or towns or buildings, but this could also take place in the forest. And you choose to capture things that have really intense contrast or focus on shadows that people make or that things make, or taking photos of just windows or doors that you see, or trying macro photography, or sticking with a color. I think that's really cool to pick a theme and just only photograph that. I think doing self portraits could be really cool. I'm saying a lot. But learning how to do self portraiture, be it that you're learning more about your camera or learning more about your own angles and how to model, because if you know how to model you can better pose other people, and that's really helpful. I'd say that's a really cool thing. Another idea is to photograph your friends, your family, or your pets. Just do some portraits of people in your life, maybe doing things that they love, maybe without them knowing, maybe trying a different style, which is another thing that I put on here, is trying different styles of photography. So as I said, macro, trying like documentary style, like making it look like it's from a movie. You could try black and white, you could
Hmm.
try editorial, you could try so many things, there's so many styles of photography you could try, and I could talk about this for days. Um, Another thing that I thought would be really cool is to either photograph a story, like kind of like stop motion, or like kind of like the documentary cinematic style of photography, but make a story out of it. Maybe you have some friends model for you, or do it with like a leaf. I don't know. There's so much you could do with that. I think that would be really cool. Another idea that I saw recently, and it's kind of, I can insert a photo, but I can also kind of explain it, is if you're taking photos of nature a lot, you can put it on your like iPad or your iPhone and draw like a character from it. So sometimes you'll see that people like take a photo of a sunset and then they'll draw like someone grabbing the sun or like sleeping on the ocean next to the sun or something, and it's
Hmm,
so freaking cool.
that sounds cool.
I think that would be a really cool artist date, to take a photo and then like take it to the next level, or maybe not to the next level, like make it magical by adding some like creature. Or there's this one guy who makes he takes photos and then the clouds in the photos he turns into characters.
Oh, that's cool.
It's super cool. So like
Yeah,
I think that would be an awesome artist date.
yeah. Another thing that I think I wanted to preface before we started, is that I think why part of the reason why people get hung up on artist dates is it feels like it has to be this like because you hear the word date and you think okay it has to be this like huge
Fantastical.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you think about it in a way of dedicating intentional time to your creativity, then it doesn't have to be like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
an endeavor that takes hours and hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can just, yeah, it's intentional creative time.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to talk about the drawing section of ideas. I feel like I wrote a lot for this one just because this is
You do a
like,
lot of drawings as your realm. Photography is kind of my realm a little bit more.
yeah. And because I took drawing classes, I also just know some of these techniques and they're fun if you, especially if you feel like you're in a funk. So the first one is doing a one line drawing. Do you know what a one line drawing is?
You don't take your pen off the paper?
Yes. I feel like it is self-explanatory, but I just wanted to see because I didn't know if I needed to explain it or not.
In
Um,
case someone doesn't know, you don't take your pen off the paper. You just do one line,
mhm,
but they can intersect, right?
mhm.
Yeah. That's where some people get mixed up. Some people do it without intersection at all, and some do it where they can intersect.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a variation that you could do if you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wrote blind drawing, which
Did you do that in school?
yeah, we
That's
did.
so cool. I did that with massage. I did blind massage, but never drawing.
Yeah, it's just an exercise to like kind of see what your awareness is of like your like the part of your brain that knows where your hand is and
Like proprioception, almost.
kind of, yeah. It's like that separate part, the artist brain that knows like where things should go without looking at it. It's a really interesting exercise. Like I did it with someone's face and it looked really funny, and then I did it with like a spray bottle and it actually turned out really well. And I was like, wow, okay, so I actually like have that like that internal
So
sense
you
to
do have a
know.
mind's eye,
No, that's different.
but you could draw a space. I don't
I'm
know.
staring at it and I'm drawing without looking. So
Oh,
I
so not actually blind. Oh my god. I was thinking eyes closed.
no,
I've done eyes closed drawing.
no, you're
That's
just not
hard.
looking at the paper. You're looking at the subject and you're not looking at the
Oh,
paper.
I love that. I want to
Hmm.
try that.
It's really fun.
I was saying like fully blind. Like I was blindfolded for massage and I was blindfolded for one drawing I did of my friend Ryan. And it was super cool because I did his face and then I did all the parts of his face slightly outside of it. It was almost like 3D. It's crazy. It was a
Um,
doodle. It wasn't anything crazy.
yeah. So yeah, that's a fun one.
That's so cool. If the angle is different, it's because it's different.
The next idea I had was negative space drawing, which is another drawing exercise where you select a subject and you basically draw around it. I actually want to hear if you have an understanding of it because explaining negative space is, yeah.
I understand what it is as a concept because when I think of negative space, it's the equivalent of like if you were drawing with an eraser, if that makes sense. Like, how do I explain that? I can insert an image of some negative space drawing, but I think of it in relationship to tattoos.
Hmm.
So, like, the wave is a negative space because they didn't color in the wave, they colored around it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky to explain, but I guess like if you're looking at um yeah, I guess it is kind of hard to explain.
Insert photo here.
A good example is you have a chair. It's a three-dimensional object. And usually the chairs have like the armrests. So you're
Mm-hmm.
not drawing the armrests, you're drawing the space under and above the armrest. And you're
Mm-hmm.
not drawing the seat, you're drawing like
The space around
around the
it.
legs on the bottom.
That
Um,
sounds really challenging for the brain. So, like, if you were drawing a table, you would be drawing everything but the table, basically.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mind blowing.
yeah. But it's a good like when I do drawings, I do use negative space as a way to help me see where objects are in relation to each other.
Yeah, that's
Um,
you do a good job of that.
so it is a really helpful tool for
Mm-hmm.
that. After that, I wrote a few ideas that involve going out into nature because
Our
I
favorite.
love going out into nature.
Yeah.
So these are like exploring drawing different subjects. So you could collect leaves and arrange them in a way and draw them.
Like still lifes, kind of.
Yeah, or like even if it was like in um like sciencey books, how they have like
Oh,
subjects that
like
are in rows.
diagrams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like different types of sticks, different like types of pine cones that you find,
Cute.
different
Yeah.
rocks.
That would be really cute.
Um
I want to do that with coffee. I want to do a little like journal that's like a drawing of the coffee and then like what the coffee, the style of coffee, like latte, cappuccino, blah blah blah, and like the ingredients and how you make it. I think
mhm.
that'd be super fun.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should do that.
I don't understand the difference between anything. Things have milk sometimes, and sometimes they have hot water, and that's about as far as my knowledge goes with coffee.
It's not bad.
Anyways,
Anyways, another idea was going to public art areas and drawing the sculpture or installation or
mm,
mural.
yeah,
Um,
I did that in art class a lot. We'd go and draw buildings or we'd draw um, sculptures.
mhm,
It's really fun. Like it's just I've somehow I think because how sculptures are created and the intention of its sculpture is like to be so like realistic that when you're drawing it, it's just like I don't know, you
mhm,
like kind of like are the same mindset as the person who created it and you like notice these things
mhm,
that you wouldn't notice otherwise. And
mhm.
it's so amazing.
That, in a nutshell, is why I love drawing so much, because you
Mhm.
notice things that you wouldn't otherwise, and you
Mhm.
have more of an appreciation
Yeah.
of things around you.
Period.
Anyway, oh, you wrote this one.
Oh, so I wrote this one for those who are drawing on like digital, like on tablets of any type. I've seen people turn their screen to black and white and then pick a color, or basically have a palette and then turn their screen black and white so they can't see what color they're grabbing. But then they color in like a page or they make a drawing or whatever. And then they turn their screen back to normal color. And it's just like amazing, like absolutely gorgeous piece of like really interesting colors that you would never see in real life and the human eye wouldn't like quite understand because our eyes can't help but make a story out of it and figure out what's going on. When it's black and white, it just looks like shade. Like let's say you're drawing a face, it just looks like you have shading. But once the light comes, like maybe the highlights are green and the lowlights are like yellow, and it's like really weird. But our brain immediately captures it as like this moment in time with maybe like a fluorescent neon light or something. But it's just so cool, and I think that would be an awesome artist state,
Hmm.
and like it'd be really challenging.
Yeah.
You could also do a lot with turning your screen black and white and like creating stuff. For you gamers out there, I feel like there's something with like making a character in any
Mm,
game, but having your screen black and white so you don't really know what you're doing.
yeah.
That could be fun.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to talk about the painting section of things.
Mm.
One idea is to use an unconventional canvas.
Love that
When I was in art classes, and I was in a painting class, I did some like drip splatter painting on old media. So I did one that was like on a cassette tape, and I did one on a VHS tape, which was really
It's like kind of
cool.
like the vinyl records that you do.
Yeah, that was part of it, but I was like, I want to try a few different things. So
It's it's such cool work, and the vinyl records that you make are absolutely amazing and so freaking cool.
thank you. That's very nice.
Do you want me to insert a photo? Insert photo here
Okay,
and here and here.
thank you. And then another idea is to try different kind of paint than what you are used to. So if you usually do acrylic, you can do watercolor or
Mm.
try oil. But if you're doing oil, please be careful. Make sure it's in a ventilated area and that you don't cause any fires. Or used like, colored pencil, pastel,
Have you tried the watercolor pen things, like brush pens?
where the water's in the pen. Hmm.
I want to try one of those. You've tried one?
Hmm.
I want to try one so bad. They look like so much fun.
Hmm. Yeah.
Sorry. I like watercolor. I haven't done it in a while. I should do that. Do you want to go to Acid Castles and do watercolor?
Yeah, I'm down.
I would love that.
I also want to pick up trash
We can do two things. Our double artist date.
around there. Another idea. Um, I don't. This is random, but to paint your to-do list.
What the fuck?
I don't
Say
know.
more.
I was just like,
Like to write it out and paint?
yeah, I mean, I guess it's like it's almost like a morning pages alternative. Like if you're in a space where you're like making excuses for why you're not dedicating this time to yourself, you can still find a way to dedicate that time and not completely ignore where your brain is. So if you're in a space where you're like overwhelmed and all these things are happening, but you're like, I really want to stick to this and do my artist date, then it's like, okay, paint the things that you're thinking about. Paint your to-do list.
Cute.
Yeah. I have a lot of ideas for abstract painting because that's also one of my things.
Do that one.
So one idea is to set a timer for 20 minutes, and after the 20 minutes is over, you rotate your canvas. And so you do that 3 times, 4 times, I guess as many times as you want. But
I was gonna say you don't need to have a certain amount of time that you're painting. It can just be every 20 minutes while you're painting until you're done. As long as your painting doesn't take you 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. And another idea is to paint to an album. Another thing I did with an artist friend was we did foot paintings. We would pick like a theme of music, like we had like 80s music and we picked our 80s colors and we set a timer, and we had like buckets of paint around and like buckets of water for our feet, and we like taped the ground. It was all on butcher paper. So we play the music and then we like dip our feet into paint and we're just like dancing around on the canvas.
I've seen that with people who are on point too, and they like have like for someone did it for the Black Swan, or Black Swan. Yeah, that's what that's called, right? And they did like the white swan was in white and it had like beige butcher paper, and the black swan was in black, and they did the whole piece on this piece of paper.
I love that.
It was so cool.
And similar to what I was saying earlier, another idea was paint the story of morning pages. So maybe while you're going back and reading through, if you're at that point in the course, you could say like, oh, whatever, this random day was weird and I had a weird dream that I wrote about, so I'm just gonna like paint about that.
Or maybe you can paint a creative monster.
That would be a good one. And then similar to like photography, you can also paint a loved one or a pet from memory.
That shit's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I like and I don't like doing stuff from memory because it looks like a 2-year-old did it. But it's still fun, Like if I
think you're a better artist than you think you are. Not that 2-year-olds are bad artists, but I don't think. I'd like to see you draw Obi. I doubt it's gonna look like a 2-year-old did it.
You'd be surprised. Without, I really am curious if other people out there relate to this, but like without having a clear mind's eye, it
you
doesn't.
You don't know what a mind's eye feels like, so you don't know this for sure, Z's.
Yeah, but for me, it doesn't go well. I know that I can still be creative, obviously, but if I'm wanting to do something with any sort of accuracy, I need to physically see it in front of me, whether it be a reference photo or if it's actually in front of me in person. I need that.
I wonder if you drew, like, let's say that you were around dancers a lot or something, because like for me, it took me a while until I could draw a face or a body without looking at one. But eventually, I kind of figured out the proportions, and then I could draw it without looking. I'm curious if you practiced enough, if you could do it without needing reference. I bet you could, but I also get that like in the beginning, a reference is really helpful. Yeah.
Another idea, which came from you, was do a painting with coffee or with tea
or with juice or something. It's great. You do watercolor, and it's what you drink in. You could do it with wine. That could be cool.
That's a good idea. Another one I said was to find an old thrifted or Goodwill painting and rework it or just make it weird in some way.
I've seen people do like little ghosts on them or like make them fun and creepy. I love that.
There's a lot of directions you could go with that, but that's another.
I want to do that.
not necessarily free, but a really cheap thing. If you're like, I'm blanking, I have no idea what I want to do, you can start with something that already exists and look at it and think, I don't really like that part, or
Let's make this cat look like a real cat.
yeah.
Insert no kidding. That cat will never be seen again. I'm not inserting that photo again.
Another one is to recreate one of your favorite famous paintings in your own style. Um, and other ways to like flip things around. You could paint with your non-dominant hand, paint without your hands, or paint without brushes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another painting that I've done was like unconventional tools. Like we used like a squeegee and like a broom for painting, and it's just really fun to try different ways of doing it, you know?
Absolutely. That's super fun.
Yeah. Okay, now we're in the music section. First one I have is go to a local band performance at a bar. Obviously that depends on like where you live and stuff, but I feel
Mhm.
like they're you just have to look them up and find them, and
It's
there's
almost always local live music on weekends if
mm-hmm.
you're in a town, period. Or I think if you're in a city, definitely. I have a headache that's coming on, sorry. Or if you're like in a big enough town, like city town, not a village probably. Maybe a village.
Another idea is to listen to a genre you normally don't listen to.
That's a challenge. That would be a
Mhm.
challenge.
Yeah, and like to go beyond that, listen to a genre maybe you don't like and find an artist that you do like within that genre.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I love that.
Another one, you wrote this one. Listen to your favorite song and doodle blindfolded or eyes closed. The next section is for actors and subsection for performance artists. I kind of jumbled them together, but
They're kind of the same thing. Like
similar
yes
and
and no.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of similarities, lots of differences, but still like similar concept of like you are your own instrument kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So the first idea was to go to an open mic night.
This could be
Um,
comedy, this could be poetry slam, this could be what's it called? Improv.
yeah. I mean, open mic is usually all of the above.
Is it really? I
Yeah.
thought that there's like themes depending on where you're going. Like there's clubs that are like it's open night mic, but it's like for poetry slams, or it's open night mic, but it's we're singing karaoke.
You said night mic.
Oh,
It's fine.
I have a
Um,
headache. Don't be mean to me.
it's just funny. I mean, my understanding of open mic night was you go up to a mic and you're either singing a song or reading a poem or reading from your journal or telling a story
What
or
liberal arts school did you go to?
the same place you grew up. Anyway,
There's also like comedy ones and stuff though. It depends on where you are. Whatever's available. Whatever's your vibe.
another idea was to watch your comfort musical.
Ugh. Which one do you think's mine? I don't know if I know the answer to that.
The Hamilton?
No, that's not
Okay.
my comfort one because there's too much tea on that. I think it would either be Sweeney Todd or my comfort musical that I've seen live. That's like one of my favorites I've seen live was Music Man,
Mm,
but I haven't seen that in a very long time. But I have a lot of musicals I like.
you should know mine.
Your comfort musical? Um,
Which one have I seen countless times?
oh, Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
I always forget that's a musical.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess if you count movies, La La Land would be a comfort one too. But I don't know if that counts. It is a musical.
Mm-hmm.
I think most movies that are musicals I really like. There's definitely a lot of musicals I haven't seen though. I'm not like I haven't seen Rent. I need to see that. I haven't seen so much. I'm not even gonna go down the list. Anyways, go watch
Um,
that.
Another idea was to watch a movie with your favorite actor.
mm.
Um, Another one is I just put embodiment because I don't know. I think everyone should do this at some point. but it's to dress as your best self and go out in public acting as if your dreams have already been accomplished.
So if you've seen Paris is Burning, you'll know what this is. For those of you who haven't, please watch that documentary. And um there's these things, I don't even know if I'm the one to talk about this, but like back in the 80s,
80s, yeah.
80s, they would
The
hold
ball
thing
scene
called balls in the ball
in New York.
scene in New York, correct? And this is often like this is kind of where the it's not the birthplace of drag, but like many might see it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I'm not gonna get into it because I'm not like the professor on it. I've watched Paris is Burning and we love RuPaul's Drag Race, but that does not make us experts.
Opulence.
Opulence, you earn everything. Oh my gosh! But like, there's so much that comes from that film that is just so beautiful and wonderful and heartbreaking and just amazing. But something that we loved about it was like going to a ball. The point of it, especially with those with categories, is you go and let's say the category is like military or like college student or CEO or anything like that. And all of those, like you would dress for that because like, and this is, I think a lot of this was like in the black scene, but this also, you saw other people as well. But it's people who could like most look like this because they were being told they weren't allowed to because they were gay or because they were people of color or because they were disabled or something. Like something
Mm-hmm.
was like quote unquote different than the white man. So
Mm-hmm.
they would dress up in this way and like you wanted to look as real as possible and like realness be is that what it is, like realness, giving
Mm-hmm.
realness or whatever. And like you and I talked about it and it would be so fun. Like I would love to do like category Yale boy, like
Mm-hmm.
college boy would be so fun.
Yeah.
And like I also would love anything involving modeling would be fun because like I know I could work that. It's
Mm-hmm.
just so cool and I think that that's what this comes from.
If you are queer and an artist, which you should be, you are, if you listen to this, your artist date is to watch Paris is Burning.
That's what it is this week, period.
We've assigned it.
You don't have a choice anymore.
Yeah.
You gotta rent it.
Like, again, if you're queer, this is part of your history, and it's a really good thing to watch
It's really
for,
important.
yeah, for greater understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Get on board.
anyways,
Going off that into performance art.
the first idea was to make a playlist of a few songs to free expression dance to, just whatever feels good.
In college, we've last time we tried recording this and it did not pick up our voices, but we learned that in college we both did the exact same thing where we'd go to the gym after a workout or, you know, when the yoga classes weren't happening, we'd go to the yoga area and we'd both just like dance and like use the gym space to dance. And I used to do that all the time as a reward for working out. And we found out that we both did that and we didn't know that about each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really cool. I just love that.
Yeah. um so another idea is to go to a local performance, support your local artists,
Period.
and you're going to talk about the next ones.
The next one I thought of, this can apply to a lot of different things, but I said perform to your cat, dog, or unwilling child or children. I don't know, maybe your children are willing. That'd be awesome if they were good babies. But the reason I thought of this was because I was imagining a scenario where like an actor was needing to practice like a breakup scene, like in the beginning of La La Land when Emma Stone is like, or Mia, the character, is like practicing the breakup monologue. But imagine you're doing it with your cat, like as like a
Mm-hmm.
scene partner, or like you're performing for your cat.
It's so funny.
So funny. Or like, you know, you can obviously do a dance thing, but I don't know how an animal would respond to that. I feel like our cats would just run away and be
They're
like,
just
ah, what's going on?
Yeah.
Unless I'm singing. Sometimes they like to listen to me sing. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a crazy sound.
That was loud.
That was. The other two cost money, likely, unless you have a cool neighborhood, to go to open gym, be it like a dance or lyra, performance arts, pole, open gym, or go take a class. Something you could do if you don't want to pay money, is go on YouTube or whatever video source that you go on and take a dance class, but someone else teaches it. I feel like there's quite a few people who do like 30-day challenges for this kind of dance style, or like just do random dance class videos. I know for ballet, they're super popular. I feel like they are pretty popular for hip hop as well. I'm imagining you could probably find something for everything. That just like brought me back. I also know I saw it on like I think I saw it on a YouTube short, but usually those come from TikTok, where it's like an acting challenge where the person who made the video is already doing all the acting, but they like have your lines highlighted and you have to like react and act with them. And you could like theoretically record yourself and then like go back and forth or whatever. I thought that was cool. Like that could be a cool artist date to just like practice your acting with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last one was also to do an open mic night, but I wrote specifically be brave, go to open mic and sing a song or do karaoke.
Putting yourself in front of people.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really important. It's like training when you're training for a triathlon or a marathon, you have to practice being at the actual event a few times because you can't just show up and expect to know what the vibe's going to be. I think that's good practice for performance arts, especially, is to get into that space and get into that uncomfortable, like maybe uncomfortable for you. It is for me. Get used to performing. I was very lucky to perform a lot in band as a bassist, and it made it so performance is a little less scary. I do get in my head, but I remember having a lot when we did our performance. I remember having a lot more like I know how to space out just enough to not think about the people watching me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like I didn't freak out entirely.
It also helps that you're spinning the whole time.
Yeah, you're like holding on for dear fucking life.
Yeah.
Insert photo here. You look so pretty.
Anyway, this other section, I made it because I think artist dates are not necessarily just about intentional time for your creativity, but it's also just to take care of yourself. So this is the treat yourself section,
Treat yourself.
which obviously might involve a little bit more of spending money, but
Doesn't have to.
yeah. So in this section, the ideas are to go get your nails done,
Or just do your nails.
or book a massage. Another idea is to plan a small trip, whether that be a little camping trip, a little solo retreat, something like that. Um, find a piece of clothing to replace and shop for the replacement. Another idea is table for one, literally take yourself out on a date.
Mm-hmm.
These ones you wrote.
Yeah, you're funny. The next one I wrote was, or I guess the first one I wrote for this section is based in, I think it was week 6 or I think it was week 6. Maybe it was week 5, where we talked about luxury and how you could just go buy yourself a luxury item, including but not limited to berries of different kinds. And like, I guess it could be your favorite candy, your favorite treat, your favorite fruit, your favorite. For me, it's Annie's Alfredo mac and cheese, the organic one. I don't think it has a non-organic one. I literally want to eat that so badly and still haven't, and I would like to eat that. Another one is making like a nighttime fancy mocktail where you have like juice or tea, or add a little bit of some kind of powder like collagen powder, or what is it called, pea flower, blue pea flower.
Blue butterfly pea flower powder.
Jesus Christ, it's too long of a name.
I know that because of my old job.
I'm proud of you. But yeah, like something nice for yourself, treat yourself in that way. Make time to either go to the movies or to watch your favorite movie. And I also wrote like also including a 4 friends popcorn, like make a whole little movie night. I think it's fun to do with friends, but it's really fun to do by yourself too. Write a love letter to yourself. That's free, and I think that's really important. And the last one I wrote is to dye your hair or cut it, because we all love that. And I did that for one of my artist dates, and I love being blonde. It's a great time. My hair is so much thinner, and that's a good thing. But something I said last time we were trying to record this was we have been having intentional artist dates, including dyeing my hair. I think we just tend to forget that they are intentional artist dates, and we have so many days where we have something that kind of blends together. And when we're recording, we don't always like can't always remember, but sometimes it pops into my head later.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun.
Yeah. Our last section is just the other section. Didn't quite fall into any category. But the first one is to watch a documentary.
Documentary. We did give you homework to watch a documentary, so
Yeah,
just saying.
Paris is Burning.
But
Anyway,
also,
yeah, so to watch a documentary on one of your interests, I thought about that because early on when we watched the behind the scenes of
the
one of the nature documentaries, I don't remember the name.
This is our planet. This is our Earth. Earth. It was the one where
Our Planet.
Our Planet, the one that Obama does the talking. That was Our Oceans.
No, that's a different one.
That's Our Oceans. It's Our Planet.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was sad.
Anyway, we're almost done. This other idea, I think they all kind of blend together. There's a few different ways you can go with this. But I wrote to learn more about a role model, look into their, like, watch their interviews, read their Wikipedia page, just to learn more about them.
Mm-hmm.
And going off of that is to make an artist family tree. I should have looked up the name of the artist who had this idea, but it's the person who wrote Steal Like an Artist and Show Your Work. That's where I got the idea from, is to look at people, artists who inspire you, and basically start building an artist tree of who were your artist's inspirations, and you just keep going further and further back.
Who inspired them, etc., etc. Yeah.
And finally, depending on how much money you're willing to spend, the majority of these ideas are free or pretty cheap, depending on what resources you have available to you. But this is for if you have the time and a bit more money, is to sign up for a workshop for something that you're interested in. So you could sign up for a workshop learning how to sew, or a little like ceramics workshop, maybe a dance class, something like that.
Like a series dance class, yeah.
Or even if it's just a one-off thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you have like over 100 ideas here. So for anyone who's like, I don't really know what to do, maybe it's not 100. It's close to it if it's not at that.
When I counted it the first time, it was like 70, and then I added more. So
like at least 70 or more ideas. You don't have an excuse anymore. Sorry, we kind of took that away from you. There's so many things you can do, and it does not have to be this like taking yourself on the fanciest date and you're making an entire masterpiece. No. It can literally just be, I want to go to the candy store and buy that really big long rope candy. That is something I would like to do at some point, even though I don't even think I can finish it or eat it without my jaw hurting. But like there's so much you can do. An artist date doesn't have to be all that. It doesn't have to be like hours of your time. It can be 30 minutes. It can be 10 minutes. Obviously, like make it intentional if it's that little amount of time, but don't fall on the excuse of you don't have time or you don't know what to do, because there are resources to figure out what to do, and there are things to do. This is not just caring for your artist, it's caring for yourself, it's caring for your inner child, it's reparenting yourself and teaching yourself, I care about me, I care about you.
It's a good practice in prioritizing yourself,
period,
making time for yourself,
period,
and doing something that excites you,
period,
or inspires you, or
you
both.
inspire me.
Oh.
I love you.
I love you too.
On that note, you don't have an excuse anymore. Thank you for listening to episode 8.5 and letting us have some time to figure out our technical difficulties and finish reading our morning pages, because oh my god, a 1 week is not enough time. for
Mm-mm.
slow readers and for people who are traveling. And we'll get into it in another episode, but life has been crazy. It's been
Mm-hmm.
crazy. So, yeah.
Thank you for listening, and yeah, we'll be talking about week 9 next time.
Keep going. If you also need 2 weeks, that's okay. We're all in it together. It's happening. We're proud of you. Good job. Keep going. Love you, boo boo. Bye.